Went to go see The Girl in the Spider's Web. This is Sony's second take on the Dragon Tattoo movie. They're based on a very famous book series in Sweden. There's those 3 original Swedish movies. I never did see those. I did see the David Fincher movie. I really liked that movie. I love David Fincher's directing in that. I love Daniel Craig. I liked Rooney Mara. I love the soundtrack, the look of it. It was just this really dark, grungy, gritty murder mystery with great performances and great direction, and I really liked it. But I went into this one knowing that, you know, they were changing it all because of budget reasons. They had to get a different director, recast, go a whole new route. And even though I was upset with that because I did want to see a continuation with David Fincher and company, I went into it because I liked the character so much and I wanted to see what new they could do with it. For the most part, Elizabeth in this movie has just changed so much, and then they've just gone and changed so much that I was severely disappointed. But let's get into it. So this movie stars Claire Foy as Elizabeth Salander, and then we've got a bunch of other people. I have no idea who they are. I've never seen them before anything. I did a quick scan of their IMDb pages. I have no idea who any of these people were. So they basically put their money in Claire Foy and then went from there. It's directed by Fede Alvarez, who did Don't Breathe, which I did like that movie last year. And I will say that it looks really good, and Claire Foy, for the most part, is, you know, she does well enough. I will say, you know, there are some cool scenes in this movie. There's some cool moments and some cool action stuff going on. But other than that, that's kind of ends for my positive, because for one thing, they kind of did away with the dark, gritty murder mystery feel and went into kind of a more spy actiony route. And then it still has a few dark moments, but it does definitely feel like they toned that down, because I think they felt like that was one of the reasons maybe the first one wasn't as successful as they wanted it to be. And the whole time I'm watching it, you know, they swap out Daniel Craig with this person I just didn't like. I could not get invested in Claire Foy and his relationship because it just didn't feel right. It just felt disconnected from the first movie so much. It was just, sometimes she was just such a superhero type character, and then sometimes they would go back and be like, oh, look at this flawed stuff, but it never really meshed very well. It never felt like a good movie. It just felt like an average action spy movie that I've seen a million times. The plot was very generic and boring, and all these random people in here I just didn't like. The director, I missed David Fincher. I missed his direction. I didn't really care for it. Like I said, beyond some pretty shots and, you know, a decent performance by Claire Foy, I'm just kind of over this. And that's sad, because I would probably, if this movie had been good, I would have finally probably went back and watched those Swedish movies. But now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of burn out on the whole Elizabeth Salander storyline. And we'll see what happens. But I did really like that David Fincher movie. We're never going to get a sequel to that, so you get what you get. It was okay. I wasn't blown away by it. I didn't hate it. I mean, it didn't do anything super negative for me, but it was just pretty generic. So I'm going to give The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo a 3 out of 5. Until next time, this is Randy Cage. Peace out.